slide this over. Just so we're get a little space to kind of move up. Is Saturday. Derby Day.
Derby Day.
Swing around to that. Yeah, Spirits Guide coming to you guys live. Wachusett Wine and Spirits out here in the WB, West Boylston. Corey on hand here.
What's going on, guys?
It is Derby Day, and there's nothing more American than Derby Day. Which kind of got me waking up this morning thinking like, hey, maybe we'll make mint juleps, because there's nothing more American on Derby Day than mint juleps. And then I just sort of got sidetracked and ended up in a rabbit hole, and that led me to rum. Probably wondering where that connection comes from. Well, here it is. Most people think of bourbon as our uniquely American spirit. And it is, as of 1964, for a bunch of political and financial reasons. Bourbon is our spirit of choice in this country.
Yeah.
But most people don't realize that when this country first started, our national spirit was actually rum. Rum is a fascinating rabbit hole to go down. There's no way we can cover percent of rum history. And rum history sort of has this fantastic and sad duality to it as well. The development of rum globally is sort of the dawn of the global economy. Unfortunately, the dark side is a lot of it was rooted with slavery.
Yeah.
So there is a very dark and dubious history to it. But we see a lot of similarities in rum, in whiskey. Obviously, whiskey production in this country rooted in slavery.
Yeah.
And a lot of the slaves, Uncle Nearest is sort of the most famous one, but those guys are actually the ones doing the distilling, which means that they were the ones refining the techniques and making things better. So the quality that we see today is unfortunately on the backs of slavery. And it was sort of a drink that they kind of concocted too.
Yeah.
So kind of a brief kind of coverall history. Barbados is kind of created as sort of credited to where rum is created.
Yeah.
But really, Jamaica is kind of the motherland for rum. When we think of the Caribbean islands, all those, if you look at it, there's a French Indies and a British Indies and a Spanish Indies. All those European countries had settled those islands in the 1400s, 1500s, whatever. So they were all kind of owned. That's why there are Spanish-speaking islands and French-speaking islands and so forth and so on, British islands. Columbus actually brings sugar to Jamaica in the late 1400s from the Canary Islands when he was traveling, and that's kind of where it starts. Really, what is rum? Rum is made from sugar. We have our whiskey here, and whiskeys are made from grains. Rum is made from sugar. Kind of a byproduct like whiskey was. Whiskey was a way to kind of salvage your leftover corn at the end of the season. But basically, if you have sugar, and you have sugar cane, and you have to kind of refine that sugar cane, you get the juice out, you refine it, you make sugar, the byproduct of that is molasses.
Okay.
That's sort of the kind of what's left over. You take that molasses and you ferment it, which basically in Jamaica, which is the motherland, so it's kind of the basis of what we'll use, you just put it in these pots, and you let the natural yeast from the air come in. That natural yeast connects with the sugar and the molasses. That creates alcohol, kind of like your brewer's beer and whiskey, and then you distill it. And in Jamaica, they would pot still it, and from some of the whiskeys that we've tasted, pot stills tend to have a little bit more oily weight to it. So Jamaica, while rum is made in over 60 countries in the world, most of which don't grow their own sugar or molasses, they kind of get it from the islands and these sugar-growing nations. Jamaica is kind of the motherland for rum. Rum is a very murky thing in that of those 60 countries, there are different rules for every country too.
Okay.
So when you pick up a bottle of rum, you may have to look, see where it's from, where it's been aged, where it's been blended, to see what the rules are. What I can tell you for certainty, if it says pure Jamaican pot still rum, there's no sugar added to it. Some countries can add sugar, they can add juice, they can add wine, they can add all kinds of different things. Jamaica, no sugar added. I know when we get to the grander rum, I know there's no sugar in that as well. Other funky things with rum. How does it tie into American history? Well, when the colonies were settled, basically it was how we found a way to make money on our own, apart from the motherland in Britain. Which is also the sad part, is the slaves would come from Africa, go down to the islands, they would be traded there for molasses. Those ships would bring the molasses up to Boston, where they would trade the molasses for rum, and then they would take the rum back to Africa, trade it for the slaves, and that became known as the Rum Triangle, or the Slave Triangle. The motherland didn't like the fact that we were making money on our own, and not using their products, so they started taxing us, molasses tax. Eventually, they stamp out rum production altogether with something called the sugar tax. I want to say 1674. I'm not sure the date. I'm sure if Peter Thomas is out there watching, he knows the exact. Oh yeah. And I know, Peter, you're a big rum guy yourself. Hey Jay. So basically, bourbon is born out of the fact that once we couldn't get sugar anymore and we couldn't make rum anymore, we had to look sort of internally to find our own ingredients to make our own spirits, which leads to rye. It also leads to brandies, but obviously whiskey becomes the big thing in this country. After that, rum kind of dies. It just almost doesn't exist until Prohibition, when we were looking to get anything we could. And rum runners, or privateers, if you were good at it, you were called a privateer. If you got caught, you were a rum runner. Semantics. But obviously, with the Caribbean being close to America, they would run these rum boats up, and that rum kind of comes back into fashion a little bit. In kind of present day now, most of us know rum as your Captain Morgan, your Bacardi, your rum and cokes. By the way, those are great products. Not necessarily for me, but to think of the consistency when you're banging out a million cases of Captain Morgan's a year and every bottle tastes exactly the same.
It is pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive. And really, a lot of people, I think, kind of forget or don't know that some of the original styles of rum, especially that we were making here in New England, we were adding vanilla beans and cardamom and cinnamon and nutmeg and clove. So spiced rum historically is a style of rum. Captain Morgan just didn't decide one day to create something that would blend well with Coke. It was always a style. A lot of fascinating stuff there.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So, I know whiskey, some can add color.
Yep. In certain countries.
What about rum?
Same thing, and it's a great question. In Jamaica, you can't add color, but in other countries, you can add caramel coloring. And I believe in American markets, or to be imported into America, with that Pure Food and Drug Act, if you add caramel coloring, you have to put it on the label. So that is kind of a good way. Captain Morgan's definitely adds caramel coloring to it.
I figured that as such.
Sugar Act, 1764. Peter Thomas for the win, as always. So if you look on Captain Morgan's, it will say caramel coloring added. And while there's a lot of murkiness to it, and again, country to country, there are some things on the label that will help you. A lot of times we see light rum, gold rum, dark rum. Those are more just indications of color, not anything else. We're going to taste a light rum. It's actually 3 years old, and then has been charcoal filtered to take the color out.
Okay.
Darker rums tend to be barrel aged. Gold, in my experience, tends to just be caramel coloring. If you see navy strength or navy proof, that tends to be higher, kind of like our gin. So they tend to be higher proof rums. The British Navy, this is fascinating, until 1970 were given rations of rum daily.
That is kind of wild.
It's kind of like what we do where we take a ration of spirits every day to get us through. Yeah, the British Navy, up until 1970, not that long ago, we're still getting rations of rum on a daily basis. And a lot of these newer rums definitely have more info on them, as we'll see. So we're going to kind of taste through some. By the end of next week, there's going to be a whole blog posting on our website with links if you want to buy these on our website. These are all currently in stock. And that's sort of, the blog will have backup information on all of this as well. Yeah, Jay, good call. Mount Gay Foursquare, which is probably considered to be like the Pappy of rums.
Okay.
They're like the high-end rum, and we have some of their stuff out on the shelf. It's
really? Nice.
a little pricey. Yeah, and I think people in the know kind of love Foursquare. Personally, I'm a big fan of Plantation, which we're going to taste. I've become a huge fan of the grander stuff. It's just, and when we get to this,
oh man,
woo! So I know you've tried some of these, but we've never really done them in succession.
Yeah, no.
From lightest to sweetest, and hopefully you guys out there will find some interest in this.
So when you say lightest, it means not sweet?
Yeah, I'm gonna go drier to sweet.
Okay.
And this one has no color, but this, there's sort of a flavor descriptor that in Jamaica they call it hogo, but basically it's rum funk. Because again, like sugar cane, it's like I don't know, Peter Thomas will know exactly what it's considered, but it's like a vegetable. It's,
Yeah.
like a grass. So sort of that Jamaican rum funk is like a grassy, almost bell peppery kind of flavor to it. This is the Denizen. This comes to us from our friends at Hodling, which is where we get Hirsch the Horizon.
Yep.
And some other Junipero gin. Great company. This is a 3-year rum, 80% from Trinidad, 20% what they call high ester, pot still from Jamaica, aged in oak, and then charcoal filtered to take out the color. This is not Bacardi by any means. And on the nose, you kind of already get that.
Yeah.
It's not that sort of sweeter nose like you would get from Bacardi. It's funky.
Yes. Definitely has a nose like I wasn't expecting it to have out.
Yeah, I mean, vegetal, grassy, with some vanilla in there as well. If you're making cocktails, again, people think of Bacardi and Coke, Captain and Coke, Captain and Ginger. And then there's all these great tiki drinks, but nobody really makes them at home, unfortunately, even though you should, and you can. But yeah, all your tiki drinks, your daiquiris, your Mai Tais, rum runners. But rum will also work sort of in place of whiskey.
Yeah.
In the darker rums, we start talking about rum old fashions, rum Manhattans, you can do rum Sazeracs. And even this in place of vodka or gin or tequila in any sort of clear spirit.
Yeah.
Just this with some seltzer water. Or .80 proof. It's got flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the big thing if you're looking to substitute vodka. It has flavor to it, and it has body too. It's bigger than vodka, even though it's the same proof point. Another sort of great fact about rum, when it's distilled down in its purest form, when it comes off the still, there's no sugar in it. So rum is a totally sugar-free, at its base. Now again, country by country, you can add juice, you can add wine, you can add sugar, you can add color. But again, this I believe has no sugar in it, which, being diabetic, is a big deal for me. So again, that is the Denizen Aged White Rum. Probably going to switch glasses for the next few, just to kind of keep things clean. Now we get into some darker rums. These guys are one of my favorites. Plantation.
Sweet bottle.
Yeah, it's a great bottle. I mean, that kind of looks like something that washed up on shore in the Caribbean.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Yeah, when we talk about it, is it good? Is it worth the money? Does the bottle start a conversation? Absolutely. Plantation is owned by Pierre Ferrand, which is probably my personally favorite cognac house. So they own access to some rum distilleries down there. And they make a bunch of different rum bottlings. Here we carry the dark rum, which may be the best value dark rum on the market, and the pineapple rum, which is outrageously good.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I gotta try that.
I mean, had you tried the pineapple rum?
No.
Oh. We'll be back next week with more rums on Saturday. Sunday, gee. So this is the Jamaica. Funky spelling there. Xaymaca. This is their Jamaican rum. This was sort of the dream of the Pierre Ferrand people to create a blend, ultimate Jamaican rum. So it's all 100% pot still. They own portions of 2 of the major distilleries in Jamaica. And this is kind of where we see, like, that rum isn't necessarily Bacardi and Captain Morgan's, and this is bone dry, funky, a little woody, still has that grassy vegetal tone to it. This to me, perfect in a Mai Tai.
Yeah, great.
But also just a great sipper. You know, I mean, these rums make a great alternative to whiskey. Like if you're just
For sure.
sitting around having a glass, having a cigar, playing video games all night, whatever. And
Yeah. That's amazing.
yeah, bone dry, great for the money. Yeah, Plantation Pineapple makes killer anything, really. Yeah, I mean, this is special to me. Like, and to me, this almost appeals to like a lowland Scotch drinker as well.
Yeah. You do get some of that.
Yeah, there's a little toastiness to it.
Yeah.
Plantation is just one of those brands that bartenders have known about forever. They do some other bottlings from other islands as well. Raising up the sweetness scale, a little bit sweeter, but man, this is special. This is grander. So grander, a little history on it. This is owned by a gentleman who is from Louisville, so he's got a huge whiskey background, and wanted to make rum or produce rums that were kind of representative of his love for whiskey. Grander, by the way, I always love a good story, is what you call 1,000-pound marlin. So if you're out marlin fishing and you catch 1,000-pound marlin, kudos. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a grander. I guess it's like getting a hole-in-one for fishermen. So this is his trophy release. This is done in super small batches. This batch, 1,500 bottles. We got 12 of them. Why? Because we scour and we look for cool stuff like this.
Yeah.
I dare anybody else out there to challenge my rum selection. So this 110.4 proof.
Right up our
It's got a
alley.
little heat to it. Yep. In this particular release, which is the 20802, this was, I forget the publication, but this was a top 10 rum of 2020 last year. It's a blend of 3 rums from Panama, no sugar added to this. So it's a blend of 8-year, 10-year, and 15-year rum. Now we don't talk numbers here, but I can tell you, for 15-year rum, it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
And by the way, what a great bottle,
Yes,
too.
I was going to say the bottle looks awesome.
The bottle is diesel, raised glass. To me, here's where we start to get into the elegance of rum, especially if you're a cigar person. Man. Yeah, when that blog post goes up, there'll be complete tasting notes on these, but
Nose on this is so much different than the others do.
yeah, they just get sort of bigger. By the way, grander, we also have on the shelf, and I don't know if you've tasted this one, but this is the Panama rum that is finished in rye whiskey barrels. Same price, same great bottle. If you're looking to get into rums, and those 2 bottles sitting on your home bar are going to look wonderful side by side,
Yeah.
that is also in stock. So again, no sugar added to this. The coloring, all natural. Ex-bourbon barrels.
Unreal. It leaves that coating all over your mouth. That is awesome.
Yeah, there's a ton of fruit there. And it's weird, like, to me, like, it almost feels like the alcohol burn is trying to creep up through it.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of
disappears,
dissipates in the sweetness. Yeah, stone fruit. Like, I get some black cherry in there almost. Very clean finish too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not getting that sort of sugary
Yeah. feeling
clotting of
sure.
the saliva in the back. That bottle is just truly special to me.
Yeah.
When I first tasted that, I think I was with Scott Reno.
Yeah.
And I tasted it, and I immediately turned around and looked at him and said, I need 2 cases of that on the spot. Yeah. So much flavor. I mean, I would use that in a cocktail, like in a rum runner.
But you don't even need to.
I don't need to. The great thing is, at that 110, it will hold up.
Yeah.
And you're not going to lose a lot. Now we move on to friends of ours from Bully Boy in Boston. Actually, I think they're Dorchester. And this is their rum, what they call the Rum Cooperative. And again, if you're looking to get into rums, these are definitely 6 must-have bottles on your home bar. The Rum Cooperative is a blend of 5 rums. They actually put the breakdown right here in the label. 45% of it is 12-year Panamanian rum. 36% of it is 12-year Dominican rum. 10% is 8-year Boston rum, which I'm assuming is theirs. 8% is Trinidad rum, that's 12-year-old. And about 1% is Jamaican rum, that's 12 years old. And this really is the best of 5 different styles, kind of all married into one.
Yeah.
Again, very, very affordable. And we are going up a little bit in the sweetness scale. Again, packaging doesn't always indicate product, but when you've got good product and good packaging, all these flowers on the label are actually different flowers from each of the countries too.
Sweet.
So they represent, different flowers that are native to each of those countries. So a great looking bottle on the bar.
Yeah. That's cool.
I kind of like that rounded shoulder.
Definitely up there in the sweetness.
Yeah, you get a little bit more sweetness on the nose. I think we're still at 80 proof though. Yeah, 80 proof.
Wow. And the caramel coffee beans.
Yeah. Caramel, coffee. I get like chocolate covered cherries. And then I almost get like a marzipan marshmallowy,
Okay.
like toasted almost like s'mores.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's awesome.
Again, if you want a sweeter style Manhattan, if you get somebody you want to kind of bring into the rum fold, it's got enough sweetness to make it really accessible, but the layers of flavor,
Yeah.
the different distillation methods that are in there, body is big, and again, very affordable, approachable. And I think we talked about it the other day of like, you get like a 10-year rum as opposed to a 10-year bourbon or a 10-year scotch. The price you're paying is considerably
Lower.
lower. All right, now we get into the final two big boys here. Take a little sip to
Yeah.
this next one. Yeah, we make friends on this. This is Papa's Pilar Dark Rum. So it's a Solera profile, which basically means get this old barrel, and dump half of that, bottle it, take the next youngest barrel, fill that up,
Okay.
and then we keep filling.
Cycle.
Yeah. So eventually, I think the indication is that there's probably 24-year-old rum in there from constantly refilling. This bottle is diesel.
Dude, you could do some serious damage with that thing.
It's got
I love
the
the cap. That's like one of my favorite parts.
curved in, back like a bootleg bottle style. We love a good story. So Papa's Pilar. This is endorsed by the Hemingway family. This is Ernest Hemingway's rum, basically. When he was living in Cuba, Ernest Hemingway was known as Papa. And he was known. In every bar, Hemingway was known. Hemingway was such a rum nut that there's actually a daiquiri variation named after him called the Hemingway Daiquiri. And he was famous for going out on his fishing boat, which was known as the Pilar. So Papa's Pilar, named after Hemingway and his boat. We also carry the blonde rum, which is not really clear like this either.
No,
like,
it's like a
it's
yellow.
blonde, yeah. It's, I remember tasting this for the first time because another store was foolishly closing it out for I think like, well, I won't say what they were charging or what the store was, but
I remember you showed me this last year and I just fell in love.
yeah, even the cap
It has weight, right?
Yeah.
First time opening, I was like, is there weight in there?
I do wish they still kept a chain on there.
Oh, they had a chain?
Yeah, there used to be the old bottles had like a chain that linked the cap.
Oh.
Which would make sense because it's kind of designed to be on a boat, so if you took it off, like the cap wouldn't fade away.
Yep. I haven't touched this bottle in a while, so. revisiting it.
Molasses, brown sugar, dark fruit. Vanilla.
Oh, I'm getting that vanilla for sure.
Like vanilla bean too, like Madagascar vanilla.
I was reading on this one. There's a creme brulee. It was like that. It was like
Yeah.
perfectly what I was trying to describe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, like, and even still, like, I'll smell things, I go, like, I smell something, I don't know how to describe it,
Yeah.
and then you come across that, and you're like, that's exactly
What I was trying
what
to
it,
say.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just elegant. Refined. It makes me want to go grab a cigar, like a
Seriously.
nice spicy cigar, or even have that with like some like grilled meat or something. Like
Yeah.
it's got the sweetness, but it's not sugary.
Yeah.
And again, very approachable, very affordable. Great story.
One of my favorite looking bottles too. For
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I think with all of these bottles, they start a conversation. So the last one, I guess sort of my inspiration for this whole tasting, I'm going to go fresh glass completely. And this is brand new to the store. Full disclosure, when I first tasted this, first person I thought of was Peter Thomas, because he's a nut for stuff like this. Peter, I haven't tasted anything like this since that loose style Grand Reserva Spanish brandy that we had. So this is Dos Madeiras, brand new, just came in yesterday. And this is what they call their 5+5 triple aged rum.
My ears are burning.
The first thing I noticed when a sales rep presented this to me, I don't know if you guys can see it out there, but that color is dark and dense. There's almost like a purple tint to it, like a dark
Yeah.
crimson, purple. So here's the breakdown. It's a 10-year-old rum, made in the Caribbean. Spends first 5 years of its life aging in the Caribbean, used bourbon barrels. It's then shipped by boat to Spain, where it's put in Fino Palladino sherry barrels. I forget how long they were aged, maybe 20-year-old. Might even say on the back of the tube there.
Yeah.
For 3 years. So for 3 years, it sits in old Palladino sherry barrels that held sherry for 20 years. It is then kicked over to Dom PX barrels, which is a very sweet, dark, rich type of sherry. And it's put in barrels that held Dom PX for 20 years. If you ever drink Dom PX sherry, it's jet black.
Really?
Yeah. So it's completely oxidized. It's jet black. When I would go to Bocados, it's what I would have for dessert every time. And you're going to get a lot of the flavor of that Dom PX in this. Right out of the gate, the nose. Just raisiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, right into it.
It's unreal.
so good. It is so decadent, opulent, sweet, thick, almost syrupy.
I'm getting like a chocolate covered raisin or something.
Yeah, that's a good call. Like chocolate covered raisins, like brown sugar, cinnamon, bran flakes. It's kind of like raisin bran with chocolate slivers in it.
Yeah.
And I would do nothing with this except sip it after dinner for dessert.
Yeah. This stuff's amazing.
It's, if I could tell you guys the price, you wouldn't even believe me. We'll just say it's below. I feel like I just did the John Cena thing.
You can't see me. Facebook, you can't see me.
Yeah. So, can't see this. But it's below that. And worth every single penny. Great looking bottle out of the tube. The tube always makes a great presentation. And again, with all these bottles, like Father's Day coming up.
Yep.
Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Sunday Fun Day. Whatever.
Soon.
These are perfect bottles for any of those occasions. Man.
This is special.
Yeah, this is truly a special bottle. And again, to get a special bottle that you're going to enjoy, you don't have to spend a ton of money. Sometimes they're accessible. It's on the shelf.
Yeah.
I know we just got it, but I can get more.
Yeah, we're not hiding it.
That I don't know how long I'll be able to keep in stock, but there'll be another release of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is special. Kind of a perfect way to close out this tasting with you guys. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Again, all these are on the shelf right now. I don't know that they're all up on the website yet for ordering, some of them being newer. But they're all available for curbside, no doubt.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess we should wrap it there. Let you guys get back to your Saturday afternoon. Again, if you like what we're doing, share it out to people, comment. If there's a spirit you want to hear us talk about, you want to see us review, let us know. Throw it in the comments. Email me, rich@whatshusatliquors.com. Send a message through the Facebook page. We are down to try anything.
There's no ends.
Yeah, you know, there are some people out there who are just whiskey people or just whatever. We taste it all.
Yep.
So yeah, if there's anything you want to see us review, let us know. If you get any ideas for a topic, let us know. I love doing this, and as much as we always talk about learning, like I'm always in a rabbit hole, so
Yeah.
whatever it is we're doing, I'm always learning more and love sharing it. So, all right, we're gonna wrap it up. Maybe drink a little more off camera. Yeah, we'll see you guys Wednesday. For Whiskey Wednesday, we're going to do some different stuff, some unique whiskeys. Get back to finding some interesting stuff. So enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon. Enjoy your Derby Saturday. We'll see you guys soon. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
So good.